It's going to be a little bit confusing here since this is the first one you're seeing, but this is the last group of games that we're recording. And the very first conference championship game of this streak begins with the American Athletic Conference Championship making its debut this year. In one camp, the reigning champs, the Charlotte 49ers, in their final year in the conference they helped create. They'll be off to the Conference USA in 2025. In their way, the other team who helped make this conference possible, who are bearing the torch as its elder statesman, as much of an elder statesman you can be for being in the FBS only for 10 years, Delaware, who are fighting for their first ever conference championship in the FBS level. The Blue Hens and 49ers were both members of the Big East starting in 2014, before both left to form this conference last season. Delaware will get us started here. They're the favorites in this one, and look at them go past the 25. I'm joined by Pig Bear here. Danny, once again, unavailable today. He'll be back later on this weekend. And Pig Bear, as the CESN representative, you're quite versed with the American, I think, and especially with this U of Charlotte team.
Yeah, UC Charlotte, they're look, 2KU, they've been a much better program than they have in real life, and I think them and Delaware actually can make decent rivalries coming up in real life. But I think the American, it's a conference that's on the rocks right now, but I think it has the ability to turn to something special.
Sorry about that. Had to turn up Pig Bear's volume there. A little quiet on my end, but 3rd and 5 now for Delaware. Blue Hens were targeted by the CUSA, according to sources. However, they wanted to stay around for this conference. Charlotte went in their stead. They, of course, the 49ers, upset Jacksonville State for a spot to win the first AAC championship. And here come the Blue Hens. You would not believe how difficult it was to actually find this helmet.
Yeah, it took us like 5 minutes with the 10 Delaware teams.
There's not really a preset for it. Delaware's run game has been a huge part of their game thus far. It's 27 yards on that one. Here's 1st and 10 from 35. You have 11 conference championships. 4 of them will be on this stream tonight. As a throw to the sidelines, intercepted! And there's no one on the screen! No one between him and the goal line. Touchdown, Charlotte!
Niners get one. I wish Norm the Niner was in this game. He's one of the cooler mascots, in my opinion.
Norm the Niner?
Yep. Charlotte's mascot.
I see.
I was at the Clemson-Charlotte baseball game this year, and he got up on one of the railings and started tightrope walking it.
Yeah. And that was stolen. No blue shirts on the screen after he took it away. And this is the Niners flaunting why they won the championship last season. Of course, there's a lot of illegitimacy to it. They're trying to pass it off because they didn't win a championship game. AAC did not have one last season. However, Charlotte looks to end those narratives today. On 1st and 10, and there's a pass play to make up for the pick, and he's got a lot of room inside of the 25-yard line. Delaware IRL will be an FBS team next season.
So we won't have to have this little find it thing we had recently.
We'll only have to do it for all those other teams we don't have.
Yep. So half of FBS, essentially.
It's something of 30 teams, I believe, that we have that this game doesn't.
Okay, so it's not as bad as I thought.
Maybe it's a little more.
I don't know, maybe they'll clutch up and add FCS teams.
They should.
There'll be a few we won't have, but
it'd make our job a lot easier. It'd make it from like 40-something down to like 10. Play action. On a screen. Gets the 15-yard line. As we're now in the red zone. Audi Field is not in this game. That's the official site for this game. Or for the American Championship. In Washington, D.C., the home of the UFL's D.C. Defenders.
And home of MLS's DC United.
Oh, almost intercepted again.
Third and short in college football today, you see so much more pass than you used to. The offense stays aggressive, and I think they stay aggressive because they know they're in field goal range. They got that 3 in their back pocket.
They'll try what should be about a 37-yarder. From the right hash, kick is on the way. And good.
I don't think I've ever seen Delaware play an FBS team in like real life.
They have.
So I'm trying to think. I mean, I'm sure they have, but like not recently.
They played. What was it? Oh, that's already the end of the first. We got it. Yeah, we're trying to work fast. We have 4 games to do in only about 2 hours' time.
Yeah.
The big game coming up at the end of this is the Pac-12 championship. Utah and Arizona. Utah with a win will put them in the championship game. I can't say much about the details after that because it hasn't been officially released yet. But we have a couple teams vying for that national championship spot. 4 in the power conferences. Those being Michigan and Utah, who are the lone undefeateds in the power conferences, as well as Cincinnati at 1 loss and Tulane at 1 loss, all in that combo. Meanwhile, should chaos break loose above them, potentially you could see some of those non-power teams creep into the conversation. 2 undefeateds, namely San Jose State and Rice. Rice plays coming up. They have the matchup against Southern Miss to look forward to. Can the Rice Owls complete an undefeated regular season and punch their ticket to a BCS Bowl?
On the reverse
on the pitch!
Niners.
And they'll get about 2 for it. A play like that deserves a lot more.
I get it that the game is the primary thing about going to a bowl, but there's so many festivities surrounding it. Jesse, what do you remember about something you experienced?
There was a lot of pageantry when I think back to the bowl games I played in. And
Coming up next, the Southern Conference Championship. That game between James Madison and Chattanooga. Both teams are 10-2 this year. Going to throw on 3rd down, and he's got it.
He'll have enough to move the chains. It's 1st down at the 38. Defense is about learning the plays. 3rd down, what do they like to do? How do they do it?
And that's the 2-minute warning.
Having a little bit of success, but the defense now, you got to figure out what
it's now 7-3.
And the 49ers are on the move. He's going to pass.
Gonna air it out. Nope.
And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
All right, that's a good result for the defense.
All right. I'm gonna test if you remember something I've talked about on stream before, Pig Bear. The American Athletic Conference is one of 2 conferences who's never sent a team to the BCS. What is the other one?
I remember us talking about this. Give me Missouri Valley.
That is correct. Missouri Valley has never sent a team to the BCS. If we're counting conferences that no longer exist, the Big West also never sent a team to the BCS. That's not much to say, since the BCS had only existed for 3 years before the Big West would go kaput.
You're not looking sheets at the gas station. I'm looking Google Sheets.
And air it out. Dropped.
Not much great in the passing game for Charlotte today.
On offense and on defense, they've got the dropsies.
Right.
Which is funny to say, since Charlotte's lone points come off a pick 6.
Yeah.
Good catch. Do you remember the SoCon team who made it to the BCS?
It was on the Virginia schools, I think.
I'll say something, it was not one of the Virginia schools.
Thank you. The soft success I got to give
First down.
App or
Inside the 20 for the first down, it was Georgia Southern in 2004. They made it to the Orange Bowl, losing to NC State.
Second quarter, getting closer to the half. Offense is still having a lot of success stringing some first downs together. Defense is going to need to figure something out before they get to halftime.
Aside from that, there was only one Sun Belt team to ever make it to the BCS. I don't know what happened there. Timeout. You remember the one Sun Belt team who made it? I believe I mentioned it that same time.
I don't know.
It was Arkansas State in 2013. To the end zone, touchdown Charlotte. Let's watch this again. I don't know what field position they're talking about. He was wide open. And this will make it an 11-point ball game.
Lining up to add another. And the extra point makes it 14-3. They got the late touchdown on the board, now about to kick it away and hoping the defense can keep them from answering. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Really
Nothing.
disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there.
Delaware's going to have to operate pretty quickly here.
First down for this offense. They're going to throw it to start the drive.
They'll just get rid of it.
Didn't have much of a choice there, but to get rid of it. Now on second down. Couldn't connect on first down, now back to the air.
Looking on 2nd and 10. Here comes the rainbow. Intercepted.
Bringing it back.
That's the 2nd interception of the day for Charlotte. And it is all. I don't know why that took so long. It's all 49ers.
2 interceptions already in this game. He's got to do a much better job with his decision making.
I don't know what they're trying for. Oh no, it went out of the receiver's hands and into the defenders.
Jesse looking to take it down the field for back-to-back touchdowns.
Rolling. Caught for the first. He gets out of bounds. Or does he? He'll call timeout. 28 seconds to go in the half.
After that last drive, you stack another drive on top of this, their defense's heads are going to be spinning all over the place.
He wants to throw. Finds his man. It's Mack. He's brought down. Solid pickup, but a little bit short of the first down.
Let the clock run. Final timeout for Charlotte, and there's no cheerleaders. There they are.
Spaces in the middle of the field, and you saw that guy attack the defense in the perfect spot, making life easy for his QB.
They won't try for the easy points. Instead, they're probably gunning end zone. They want to blow this wide open.
Brown will throw it.
Even more so than it has been.
Pocket starts to collapse.
Incomplete.
Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now
My favorite ACC news account dropped merch the other day.
Good for them.
Have to cop them. It just means less ACC
Not what they had. Nice job by the defense.
because,
Beating the
you know, the superior conference,
disrupting the time.
especially in the 2KU.
Nice clean hit.
Yeah, especially.
they're going to try to throw for it on
We live in the
Gonna
good
throw it.
simulation.
Incomplete.
fastball's incomplete, and there are 8 seconds left.
Well, on 3rd and short and field goal range, they dial up the pass play. Quarterback was trying to get through his progressions. There was just simply nobody open. Couldn't make an accurate enough throw. Ball falls incomplete. Now setting up a big decision here on 4th down.
Now on 4th down here.
Let's ignore that. The field goal team on the field.
He boomed it.
And it's through.
50-yard field goal.
Make it a 14-point lead for Charlotte.
Well, that kid just showed off his hammer for a leg. 50 plus, and he did it with ease.
All right, as we're about to approach halftime, the American is losing 2 of its members. Charlotte and Kennesaw State are booking spots to the Conference USA starting in 2025. And looking at the current climate of teams, who do you think the American would be in its best interest in pursuing?
Just going to take a knee and go to the locker room.
As this will be the end of the first half.
We played 2 quarters here.
If you're gonna pull up from the FCS, maybe get back in the Carolinas market with loss of UNC Charlotte. Someone like Elon, possible.
I think another thing to keep in mind, the Big East just shed 2 teams in St. John's and UMass who have both left the conference. St. John's are currently in a bit of a crisis right now as their stadium was delayed. The Big East kicked them out. UMass has left voluntarily. The St. John's thing is a bit of a soap opera, so to speak. But they are still a New York team, and that'd probably be, in terms of market, in their best interest to pick up. I think St. John's and UMass might be something that they get, because UMass Delaware could reunite an old CAA rivalry, or A10 rivalry.
Bring it back. Nice job
Yeah.
by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. Charlotte will send the offense back onto the field.
I mean, here you kind of got
In the middle, it's Mack.
some rivalries. These are the 2 really flagship programs in the American as of right now. But
The 2 ones
look,
in front of us here.
It's the top of the Mid-Atlantic versus the bottom of the Mid-Atlantic. So, or the very top of the South Atlantic, if we want to get technical with it,
Will they go back to the
versus
ground game?
the solid
Brown
South
wants
Atlantic.
to pass.
Potentially, if the Big East wants to continue sorting out the cream, rising to the top, I think Georgetown and Villanova could be pickups in the same way Charlotte and Delaware were before for the Big East to the American.
I mean, look, at this point, I'm not sure why they're gone, because there's a lot of dead wood in the American. And I know there's an American Big East. Honestly, if I was the Big East, I'd probably try and get them back when you're losing UMass and St. John's.
I think they
I
shed
think
those teams in order to pick up Memphis, East Carolina, as
Yeah.
they're joining the conference next season. Memphis, a great get, I
You
think.
got a rival, Charlotte and East Carolina, so maybe you could have kept them and have that be an in-conference rivalry.
I just don't think with them trying to play Powerball, I don't think the American nabbing ECU and Memphis was really attainable.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'll say this. No disrespect to the Big East, but it's most definitely the most white meat of all the power conferences. If you know what I'm saying, the weakest.
We'll have to see how that plays out, though, coming up. Cincinnati might be playing for a natty coming up. Big catch for the first down.
And chunk plays are the name of the game, and they get one here before the defense finally makes the stop.
One of the nice things about RPOs is that it's a slow developing mesh between the QB and running back, and that allows
The Big East has definitely been making moves to try and change that narrative. That's why they brought in Cincinnati, UCF, USF, as well as Louisville, too.
Fake on first down to throw.
Well, those three are one thing. Memphis, East Carolina, like the definition of mid-major college football.
And interestingly, interesting with picking up Memphis is the thing about the Big East is you have two conferences to work with, because of course you have so many members not part of the conference who are only members in basketball and other sports. Basically, Big East members in all but football, to the point where, much like in real life, it becomes a completely different ecosystem. This is the issue that's facing the WAC. You have to balance your football and your non-football members. The WAC in an especially strange position with all those Big West schools. This is the end of 3. Charlotte's up 17-3. We're finding much more interesting things to talk about than this game.
Oh yeah. Total Niner domination.
Surely a bit disappointing for Delaware, looking for their first 10-win season. That could change with a bowl game, of course, but for now, it's all Charlotte. But right now, the Big East in football has 14. In basketball, they have 16, because they also have Seton Hall, full membership for St. John's, not Duquesne, Marquette, DePaul.
I mean, Duquesne's always an option for the American, or are they already in the American?
Pressure's coming, he's sacked. Duquesne is in the A10.
A10, yeah, my bad.
Memphis, East Carolina are football-only members of the Big East. They play all their other sports in the A10. This actually does fill the A10's void as they lose Charlotte to the CUSA. It does get them back into the state of North Carolina. And they've been definitely trying to get further south with the addition of VCU this season. They're going play action to the end zone. Incomplete.
The A10 will be what, a big market, East Coast, East of the Mississippi type of league.
In 2K, they don't have teams like St. Louis. The furthest you go west is Xavier and Dayton in the state of Ohio.
But they'll have Memphis, obviously, go much west.
That's not going to go much of anywhere, but they'll just kick the field goal to make it a 17-point game.
Not a great showing for the Blue Hens today.
They've just been sloppy all day.
We had the 2-minute timeout.
Delaware going to try it. Oh no, 2-minute warning. A comeback not impossible. You're down 2 scores. You gotta hope that they miss this kick, though.
Yeah, it's 9-9 if it hasn't already been 9-9 with that kick. Yeah.
It's through. And it's all
The Del-
Charlotte.
Delaware fans have made the drive out from where's the University of Delaware located? Again?
Newark, I believe.
I think, yeah, Newark.
Newark, Delaware, I
It
believe.
weirds me. There's a Newark, Delaware, and a Newark, New Jersey.
I knew Newark, Delaware from a Roblox game of all things.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
It was like a driving sim that took place in Newark, Delaware, of all places.
So we'll see this offense make its way out to start the drive. He's looking to throw it. Zings it.
On the sideline, out of bounds.
He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a first down for this offense.
Well, this offense has
But the American has been growing steadily in its first 2 seasons. Of course, the SoCon, the SoCon and Southland in kind of tumultuous positions at the current moment. It took the WAC up until just now to get a plan in place.
The defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
It was caught, but no gain.
You want to stretch the field horizontally, but
It's going to take a little while for the WAC to get back to 14. They're going to have an 11-team structure starting it. They're going to have an 11-team structure next season while they wait for Sac State and UC Davis to get full eligibility.
got the back over the middle. That one could really
And of course, the SoCon and Southland getting down there in terms of teams. Southland just admitted East Texas A&M, formerly Texas A&M Commerce, into its ranks for next year. I don't know how well that move's going to pan out for a team that's still really new to D1.
gonna take a shot.
Gonna air it. Oh, he got it. First down.
What a job to keep those feet in bounds and get the completion.
Hey, the defense here in this situation with a huge lead, they've got to anticipate that this offense is going to be trying to throw the ball to the sideline, so they've got to work different coverages to try to force the quarterback to go.
So
over the
Delaware's
middle of the field
fighting
with
it,
the
at least. They're not the fighting Indians for nothing.
Now got it inside the 30. It's 1st and 10. Looking to move it through the air. He makes the grab, and they get to him and knock him down.
Can they at least get on the board before the clock expires?
Has their work cut out for him, man, because the coverage has been so tight. And if you're not throwing to the sideline or you're not getting past the sticks, this defense is going to tackle you inbounds like they just did on that last play and bleed the clock.
Clock is still running, and they have to get everybody lined up. He's back to throw on 2nd down.
That'd be a miracle if they get into the end zone. Touchdown, Delaware.
He's into the end zone for a
Better late than never.
And a nice touchdown, continuing to fight, continuing
And he's a ghost.
It's pretty much over. Down multiple possessions.
You see those guys on their phones.
Take a miracle, but nice job by this offense.
Looks rather tempting at this point.
Push the ball down the field, make plays.
The interesting thing about the 2KU is you really have 3 tiers of conferences. You of course have the power teams. You have Big East, or you have ACC, Big East, Big 10, Big 12. Did I say that right? ACC, Big East, Big 10, Big 12, Pac-12, SEC. You have your power conferences. You have what you consider the mid-majors, your Conference USA, your MAC, Mountain West, WAC, Sun Belt. But in 2KU, you have a third layer to it. Those are conferences like the American here, the SoCon, the Southland, the Missouri Valley. And that third tier is really having issues nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
And it's great to see the American doing as well as it is, as Charlotte will ride out as conference champions for the 2nd straight and final time. And really, the Americans' success in its relative infancy is owed to both of these 2 teams getting off the ground. There was a point last season where we thought that this conference wasn't going to play a game, and now it's played 2 years plus a championship game. The American is making the case that it's here to stay. And now it might be the conference that ends up doing the death knell either to the SoCon or the Southland.
Well, I don't think the SoCon would die traditionally. It might. I mean, Furman and Western are definitely options, I will say.
I could see with a team in Tennessee, Chattanooga, who's been winning quite a bit, who look to be the best team following James Madison Old Dominion's departure. And speaking of, that game is coming up right now. James Madison and Chattanooga. Chattanooga is the road team, actually. JMU is the host.
We're just doing one big stream. We're doing individual games.
Oh, we're doing the full stream. We're doing one big stream.
They're trying to break the illusion. Ooh, I like the bird helmet.
We'll give you your bird helmet. Let's do that.
Bird helmet with blue.
All right,
Then we'll go.
J-Mad. I like. Give me the gold helmet, if they still have it. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Alright.
This game is in Nashville. Primarily because the Charlotte Stadium was taken up already. Other way.
Well, you can move to Charlotte next year.
Well, the ACC is in Charlotte is the problem.
So there's another bathroom bill that messes with it. Wait, where is this bowl game? I swear.
It's right there. Accelerated clock, 4 minutes.
15 seconds.
This one's another. Let's go at 8 p.m. And there's not. I don't think there's snow in Tennessee this year. And we're ready.
There might be snow tomorrow night.
It's snow. We got our first snow the other day here in Michigan.
Music City,
It's
Nashville,
allegedly
Tennessee.
days.
The host of the SoCon Championship, as James Madison and Chattanooga are both 10 wins in the year. The Mocs playing in this championship game for the first time. They're trying to win their first title since 1980. JMU playing in for the last time. They're trying to win their first and only SoCon Championship before a CUSA move. It's not been a great year for the SoCon, though they have had plenty of light within the darkness. And the biggest shining light has been these two squads, James Madison and Chattanooga. Chattanooga's been playing way over expectations this season. Though the odds do not seem in their favor, they are 17-point underdogs in this game. The highest, the largest line of any team in this year. Any conference championship game, at least. A new stadium is coming to Nashville, I believe, in either 2 or 3 years. It's going to be a dome stadium. That looks pretty interesting. On 2nd and 5, throw to the sideline, almost intercepted. What's up?
They're really pushing for that Super Bowl.
They want it. Get Dolly Parton to do the halftime show.
Oh, yeah.
I'm surprised she hasn't done it already. All day to throw. And finds his tight end over the middle for a first down. And we were just talking about it during the American, but the SoCon looks to be facing a potential crisis. And they need some good decision making in order to wade the water. JMU Old Dominion, of course, going to the CUSA. They had to talk Richmond into staying. They were looking at the American at one point. Finds him in open for a first down. Past the 50.
I mean, I think as much as they don't like each other, Richmond and William and Mary are kind of a package deal.
The primary target, it was where he was going with the football, because you get a little bit of suck up.
The conference added 2 new teams this season in Davidson and Wofford to not great results. They're expecting to see these teams turn around soon. Another thing you gotta watch for with the SoCon is just like the Big East and the WAC we were talking about, they have pretty separate memberships in and out of football. You do have a couple options though. You could spring for UAC team like Mercer, potentially a Samford. But those aren't really FBS squads, and they're not top tier FCS ones either.
Another great program to look out on the rise for in the Carolinas. But it's probably a little too early to make any notion of that jump since the first domino hasn't even fell yet.
I believe you're referring to Blue Ridge, the Blue Ridge Bears. Stream
35. Welcome to Blue Ridge in Fort Lauderdale to the SoCon.
There have been faster transitions to D1 before. Look at the Southlands, or rather, look at the WACs, Tarleton State and Utah Tech. They're gonna go play action. Dropped. There's, of course, the question of will they ever return to East Tennessee with ETSU. ETSU had FBS membership for 1 season in 1979 before going right back to FCS. Back then, 1AA. This will be the end of the first quarter. It's scoreless here.
Wow.
JMU has yet to have the ball, so that definitely doesn't help them.
Let's see if the offenses can find a little rhythm here in the second.
But it has not been a great year, or it hasn't been a great 2 years rather. You've lost App State, Georgia Southern. You're about to lose JMU and Old Dominion, who you'd only gotten recently and had become some of your better teams. What do you do if you're the SoCon, really? So here comes the field
All on red.
Kick is on the way. And good! Chattanooga will take the lead.
And with that, they break the seal on the scoring. It's 3-0.
I'll tell you, this is not an easy place to play on the road, especially at nighttime. This crowd, they get loud. That's the way it's been so far.
Up and good. There could be a potential future where the SoCon becomes basically the Southern equivalent to like an Ivy League, where it's a smaller league, that remains tight-knit, like that Magnolia League pitch that fellow College Tube YouTuber Deluxe has mentioned a bunch about.
Look,
I think we're breaking up here.
Look at the a Furman. Oh, bringing a school like Elon on, who's good academic rankings.
Your leaders not only have to lead the football team, but they got to step
As
up.
Having Richmond and Do I need to pause the game now?
My stream is disconnected right now.
Okay. We'll just pause. Nothing's happened.
That's good to know. I believe now we are back. Do apologize for the disconnection there. Technical difficulties on our end. And I believe we should be back with that.
Chattanooga punching well above their weight tonight.
Chattanooga with a 3-0 lead before halftime. No scoring had taken place before the, as we were breaking up. JMU's drive stalled. But as I was saying before we broke up, I mentioned there's the possibility that the SoCon could become a Southern Ivy League. What were you saying about that?
Yeah, I mean, look, there's two ways you address it. You just go the full academic route and go with like Elon, keep Furman and Wofford around, keep the two Virginia private schools around, and maybe try and get some other small privates that are semi-focused on academics, like Mercer. But I'm not sure Mercer's really ready for big-time college football.
Mercer's program has only existed for a decade, and they haven't yielded the same results as a Kennesaw State had in that same time. Because Kennesaw State's program started in 2015, but the difference between Kennesaw State and Mercer is the number of national championships. One won a national championship, the other hasn't. Out of bounds. At the end of the first half, Chattanooga leads 3-0.
I have one question. Do we have every single current FBS team in
Yeah.
2K FBS?
Yes.
Okay.
Every current FBS team is here, plus the teams who at one point were FBS, but dropped down IRL, and some other ones that that is still yet to join.
I don't think the SoCon will die. It's one of the most historical conferences in college football history. It's got enough spending on its feet to survive.
He'll start the return inside his 5. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found.
Bowl committee certainly watching this game tonight. What's the SoCon Champions Bowl again?
Flag on the field. It's not a specific bowl game, but it's more a first pick of a bowl game.
Legal man upfield calling the Dukes. Sway 60 is not had a great night tonight. It's been a maybe get lull player of the week.
Neither has the entirety of that Dukes sideline. But as I was saying, there's not really they don't really have a specific bowl. It's more so they have first pick of the bowls.
Yeah.
Actually, the SoCon does. It would be the Camellia Bowl. In 2KU, the Camellia Bowl is based on actually the first Camellia Bowl from 1946. So it's actually one of the longest tenure bowl games still on the schedule.
So I'm sure this game is being watched with good eyes in Montgomery right now.
Yeah. The historic Crampton Bowl in Montgomery. I think if the SoCon wanted to get risky, they could try and poach Delaware and North Alabama from the American.
That's certainly a possibility. I mean, look, you're getting more up on the Atlantic coast, and hey, want to get full crazy to become the South Atlantic Conference? Maybe.
You're gonna stop the run
That's
game,
the
you better be
most long shot of them all, but hey, good work.
You could also go a little further west with some potential outliers in the conference that aren't North Alabama, like Eastern Kentucky, Austin Peay, and Tennessee.
Trying to make that rush think on the draw play here. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
I could see the American trying to become a more Northeastern pro conference, while
Yeah,
the while SoCon moves further west.
The Dukes decide to punt it
Here comes the
away.
punt team.
This will be the second time they've had to kick it away.
But it is a sad day to see SoCon finally take its final resting spot as a third-tier conference.
Close to the 20-yard line. They'd love
This kind of confirms it with all the news that's came out.
from their own 21. Receiver going for the edge on the jet sweep. Got to be smart, patient, great vision.
Even just because you're a third-tier conference doesn't mean you can't still produce great teams. Of course, the SoCon did it for years with their old squads. Chattanooga looks to be a very exciting team moving forward, and of course, you can get a BCS. You can get a BCS berth. Don't forget about Stephen F. Austin back in 2022.
They'll run play action.
Gonna air it over the middle. It's gonna be picked off.
Picked off.
The first momentum swing for James Madison today.
Get rolling after the pick, but he gives them the ball in prime field position at the 40.
I mean, look, if we're gonna see the SoCon be like a smaller school league, school like Furman, Chattanooga, Western Carolina, it makes sense for the big. We're talking like student population wise. Makes sense for big schools like App State, Georgia Southern, and JMU to kind of transition out of it, because you can say they've outgrown it overall.
That's true.
It's just like student population wise, JMU has about like 30,000 kids. App has 20,000. I think Georgia Southern has like 15,000. Furman's got like 8.
Hey,
8,000. Yeah, they're 8 kids.
they're 8 people at It's incredible that they fielded a team. The Chattanooga's got defenders in defenders there. On 2nd and 7.
They go to the draw.
Stuffed.
Bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. But you have to
It's hard to run when you got defensive linemen stacked on top of each other like that.
draw play. They just didn't do it well enough there.
Yeah, it's got to be the offensive line and the quarterback and the running back. They all have to work together to show pass set up front, act like it's a throw for the quarterback, not rush it. The defense clearly not fooled, got in the backfield.
And they will not snap it. We go to the 4th in a 3-0 ball game.
Now that's what I call football. Up next, Conference USA Championship. Rice looks for a BCS berth against Southern Miss.
Potential national championship berth. Things fall in there, right? Wait.
That is true. But they would need help. They need at least 3 other teams to lose for that to be the case.
He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be
Is there a case for Rice to claim an Natty? If they-
Yes, actually. Should either Michigan or Utah lose and a one-loss team like Cincinnati or Tulane wins the Natty, and BCS and a team like Rice or San Jose State makes it to the
snap motion quarterback.
BCS and wins, they can claim a Natty, and we'd have a split national championship for the 2nd straight year.
Wrap him up, but not before he's got enough for the first down.
It's only happened twice ever in 2KU to have split national championships. Tulane and Marshall in 2002, and last season with Florida and UCF.
And the Dukes in the hurry up.
So, the national championship was indubitably in the north to central part of the state of Florida.
It was all Florida that year.
And
Kind of in the middle, because in the middle of Florida.
help was on the way. Decent pickup on that play.
And per usual, the one team not benefiting from it was Florida State.
Florida State, woo.
They were in a bad year last season. They were playing pretty well this year. But that feels like just a start. Florida State among the favorites in the ACC next season.
Base here with the run to the right.
I bet they go 13-0 next season to get left out of the BCE National Championship. I mean, and then they go and they play Georgia Tech and Ireland, and then they go 2-10.
A lot of people you'll see run north south and try to bounce out wide.
That's a very specific prediction.
Sometimes it's not about making
Is this based on real events?
to make sure I get an extra
Possibly.
instead of trying to make those big touchdowns.
Going on 1st and 10. Can he round the corner? Nobody's going to be only inches short of the first down. At the 3-yard line, just over 2 minutes to go. This is some old school football. We're not leaving until there's single digits on either scoreboard. Nothing.
We can't really afford an overtime game time-wise because we want to be done by 11 o'clock.
May not get it done. So big time players make big plays in big games. Who can you rely on right now to get you a touchdown?
We've reached the 2-minute warning and the defense.
It is already 10 p.m.
Should we business decision and cut the American game down to 25-second running clock?
The American already played, so I don't know how we're going to do that.
CUSA.
We could theoretically. What a grab! Touchdown, James Madison!
He issues night-nights to the mocks like our point guard did for French, because I forgot players are different in 2KU.
Nice throw, nice catch. You got the lead.
Did to what? The French?
The French.
We told the French to go to bed? They probably are in bed right now. What is it, like 5 a.m.?
To any French 2KU viewers, thank you for watching.
Merci beaucoup.
Oui.
I don't know French. I'd love to learn it.
It's frustrating because it's simple, but it's not.
Up and
It's easy to
good.
read. I took 2 years of French. I'm taking Latin right now, so Latin's just fun because Latin's dumb. In a nice way.
Just under 2 minutes to go. Chattanooga has the length of the field to work. As I believe that was country rapper Hardy taking the return. Gonna throw it. First down.
Member of Hicks Tape.
I don't know if anyone actually gets that reference other than me.
Gotta give this defense tons of credit.
I know who Hardy is. So.
It just feels like every time this QB is
I got some friends who'd chuckle at that reference.
haven't given up a lot of yards.
On 1st and 10.
Great in coverage.
The pressure's coming. He's sacked.
Fumble? Or did he tuck?
I think he was down beforehand.
Okay.
But that's not good anyways. It's going to be 2nd and 19. Pretty much erasing your last first down.
That makes you feel good if you're the D coordinator.
The hurry up now, 2nd down, clock ticking.
A touchdown will give him the lead.
He's looking to throw. Pulls it in. It's
On the slant route. Has a guy, but he can't get out of bounds. I'll have to call their second timeout.
need to move the sticks. They immediately call timeout, trying to preserve every second they can to
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. Chattanooga was originally the Moccasins.
It was moccasins, then it was shortened to just mocks, because the Native American imagery was not gelling with anybody.
didn't have anything.
You know what?
Not in modern day.
What moccasin?
After that incomplete,
What's up?
Snake.
A moccasin is a snake. The Florida Southern Mocks use that as their imagery now.
they need to keep this drive alive to have
Yeah.
any shot at winning this game.
4th and 7, and at this stage of the game, you gotta go for it.
Possession they need.
Last chance.
They'll try to convert on
Mockingbird
4th
associated with Tennessee. Can they fly like Mockingbird to the sea?
They're gonna air it over the middle.
late in the game.
Broken up.
Incomplete on
No, they will not fly.
And we have a shades of the 2022 Missouri Valley Championship. This game's gonna end 7-3. James Madison is now 11-2.
I love football.
I love football. Let that quote rain from the heavens. From our resident SoCon viewers, James Madison will leave the SoCon as champions. Next, the Conference USA. Rice, the home team. They're the #1 overall.
Rather than the American.
We'll
Versus-
definitely want to even these out, but they're playing Southern Miss, who's currently in the Sun Belt.
How about that?
It's weird, right?
Yeah, it's like they are. These are what I think when I think CUSA football.
Actually, I don't think we need to even them out.
Yeah.
Famous last words, I know, but
It's time we do it. Is it time we do it?
Where
is it?
Huh.
Oh yeah.
I like just the regular silver on I like the regular silver on the navy. So yeah, give me that on the navy jersey, and do they have silver pants?
Dark white. The gray.
That works. Just the black with the gold pants, I think will do. And as they take on Southern Miss, eager to play spoiler.
Taking on a team from the AAC, the Rice Owls. Glad to have you with us.
Southern Miss.
David Pollock and Jesse Palmer with me in the booth. Guys, we are ready to tee it up.
The Rice Owls, former Southwest team. They'll be Owls, former Southwest team. They'll be playing in the SEC fans to Houston, Texas.
Kickoff team is out there ready to get this bowl game underway.
Rice will get us started.
From inside, turn man reaches the end of the line and down he goes.
Well, I'm not sure what exactly because their football team is very good this year. But they're looking for academic bolstering in the SEC because Rice
Theoretically, that might be it. But I'll tell you one thing: with Vanderbilt, Tulane, Mississippi State, Arkansas, and now Rice, the SEC is a baseball powerhouse.
Oh yeah.
I don't know who on defense is going to
Oh, LSU as well. I forgot to mention them.
problem for this defense over the middle of the field in the passing.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of juggernauts out there. Tennessee is also in that conversation.
From the 29 on first down.
Oh, they got South Carolina too. Oh wait, never
South
mind.
Carolina. Well, they were.
They were.
I think they're still good in softball. They're gonna air it out. Collides at the 40. That's a first down. And that's that Rice team we've seen all year.
Didn't.
And with the speed they have on the perimeter, Reese, no doubt they want to come out here and
I don't know. I assume Battle of the Carolinas is a protected rivalry in the ACC.
That's a great start for
What, North South Carolina?
Yeah.
I would think so.
Yeah. So I mean, look, the only two cross-divisional games that actually matter. I'd say North Carolina, South Carolina is bigger than.
Gonna run it. Oh, he's got daylight, but there's a flag on the field.
And the runner is down, and so is a flag.
Tight end.
Holding. That's gonna back him up.
We'll repeat the previous down, but this time the offense has 10 more yards it has to cover.
Well, wash, rinse, and repeat. 1st and 16 now.
Wants to throw on first down off the play.
Play action. Gonna throw it, and they get it again.
He's run out of bounds, but not before. Turning in a big pickup and moving the sticks for a first down.
Well, another catch by the big fella.
As you were asking before, Rice, along with San Jose State, are the two undefeated non-power teams right now that could potentially creep their way into the Natty, if not just the BCS.
Right now you know it's pass. So don't even worry about the fake. Get your eyes focused and find the big fella to go make a tackle and make a play.
Oh, they're going to go the reverse pitch, and they read right through it.
Had a chance, they knock him down.
Trickeration doesn't work.
Yeah, I can't believe we got Cowboys versus Steelers on the TV right now.
That's what it kind of looks like, yeah.
So be it. I gotta stay home. Stays home. Makes a great play for a loss.
They'll try to overcome that last play on 2nd and 15. He's looking to throw.
Faking the pitch on play action.
He's
Can't round the corner.
And that play just looked to be a mess from the snap, and he's run out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage. And whatever they did on first and second down, don't do that anymore. Third and very long coming up.
On 3rd and 20, you got to get rid of it. He's going to be sacked.
And the quarterback bought some time, but not enough. Down he goes.
And that's the longest 4th down I think I've seen all season.
The computers are Nashville, not Nashville, Atlanta, or
Birmingham.
no, I'm talking about like the BCS Bowls.
Oh.
You wonder, they see stuff like this and they think, what? Why? But obviously, Rice is in if they win.
Of course.
You're winning.
That 0 is powerful. They're going to have to punt it here.
First punt of the day, and he'd love to lock 'em up
Hey.
close to their goal line.
Rice is a great punter. One of the best in the FBS this season.
Turn here as the punt goes out of bounds.
That was not great.
Yeah, but that one,
So the Southern
not great.
Mississippi Golden Eagles have
Southern Miss on the field for the first time.
the game. As we take a look at how
They're major underdogs in this one,
looking for Jesse for a guy to make an impact.
but you never want to write anybody off. Look at how Temple played 2 years ago against UConn, another Navy Blue team who was undefeated entering the conference championship game.
You know, give me a bold prediction for tomorrow. Temple hangs with them and beats Cincinnati tomorrow.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5.
No, I think that'll be a really good game. To be fair, they are calling for snow up in New Jersey, New York area.
That's not
Mhm.
budging. He's still able to get 2 to the 29.
And a rant I will bring up tomorrow because the game has not happened yet, but it's something I was noticing while we were flipping through the stadiums before we started these streams. MetLife is in the game, but it's not usable for these games. It'll be the end of one, we're still scoreless.
Stats tell that tale.
Oh yeah. So we played a they did an NYCFC stadium that's definitely been built.
Second quarter. They'll try to muscle their way forward.
Well, technically the game is at MetLife. We'll have to use the home team stadium because
Throw to the outside is complete.
there's not anywhere really that close.
First downs, and they've got one out to their own 37.
I think what would be the closest stadium to MetLife, like size-wise?
Among the bowls, it would be the Pinstripe Bowl, but that's not in the game either.
Set of downs.
I don't know why it's still not in the game. Because Yankee Stadium is in the game.
Using the quick game.
That's a first down past the 40.
And there was
Well, it's not Yankee Stadium. It's not like City Stadium. We did this on the stream one time.
Well, you could make an original bowl at that point.
Make like the Big Apple Bowl.
Yeah.
You know where you can put it?
Make it the Salad Bowl.
Eagles are in the hurry up.
Dang it.
Here's the handoff. Fights off a defender.
New York's got a lot of bakeries. Make it the Bread Bowl.
And they get him stopped after a pickup of 6.
Bagel Bowl.
I can go for a good bagel right about now.
Oh yeah, the Bagel Bites.
When pizza's on a bagel, you can eat pizza anytime.
Just making it really easy on everybody in this offense by bringing
Wise words.
Truly. One of the poets of our age. On 2nd and 4, they hand off again. The run game has been there for Southern Miss.
There to stop him after a gain of 3, but he is inside the 30 to the 29. It's 3rd down now, and they ought to be able to get off one more.
2-minute warning.
The 2-minute warning. We'll take a quick break here. 2 minutes to play in the first half. They probably feel good about their field goal chances from the 29, but they'd love to convert this 3rd and short.
Lining it on 3rd and 1. Has a man open.
Through the air.
Inside the 15.
Finally get him down after a terrific pickup. What a nice job to get through your progressions and find your man open on the track.
And you can't do that without good protection up front by the offensive line, giving you a little bit of time. And you're right, the QB had time, saw the matchups, finally saw that drag come open, completes the strike, gets the first down.
Gonna throw it to the end zone. Dropped.
And he was looking into the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Perfect timing. Got there right when the ball got there. Didn't get there a little bit early. Saving the touchdown. Nice timing by that defender.
Going up next, the capper. The Pac-12 championship. Number 2 Utah takes on Arizona.
Looking to throw it.
Gonna throw it to the end zone. It's intercepted.
And he intercepts him.
And we've seen another classic display of football today.
Doing defensively. If they're going to pass the
Really good helmet game, in my opinion.
Truly, yeah.
I like
I'm going to bring more defense.
helmets. I like the Texas outline on the Rice helmets.
I like the silver for Rice.
Great job by the defensive back.
They're gonna ride into the SEC looking stylish for sure. How well do you think this Rice team's gonna compete? They haven't played great football in the past, but this has been an incredible turnaround that this program has made in just the past 2 years. How do you think that's gonna translate to the SEC?
Well, I mean, the SEC is not what people thought it was for a while.
Run Jesse and working in that pass.
And I think too, David, it's just
But
spark. It just takes one.
it's still a power conference. It still needs to be recognized, but I think
On
Rice-
second and 1, over the middle of the field, first down. I think it depends on whether or not they add divisions. Because I think in an East-West, Rice could compete very well. You look at the geography, they'd be in a division with Tulane, LSU, Arkansas, their historical rival, as well as the other team, Tulsa, and the Mississippis. And I think Rice could, at the very least, be in the upper half of those teams. If there are no divisions, I think they're going to struggle a lot more. Gonna go over the middle. Good grab. They won't call their timeout yet.
I mean, look, let me just go explain this real quick. All right, Gulf Coast pod, Tulane, LSU, and Rice.
The Owls want to pick up the tempo.
Ozark pod. Well, there's not a third team really in the Ozark area.
I think you would have at least Rice play Arkansas, their historical team they played a lot in the Southwest Conference.
Yeah. And maybe Soror just due to the higher academic standing for both schools.
And now on second down for this offense.
If you're going academic high standing, that could obviously be a thing between Rice and Tulane. Reaches for the first down. He's going to be short.
Quick timeout call by the offense after the play.
We hear all the time that the tight end's the QB's best friend. You saw a perfect example.
As they are now in the red zone.
You need to pick up some positive yards to keep this third down manageable.
Looking on 3rd and 1. Going to throw short.
He's got
It's caught. You only have one more timeout, and they'll call it.
defense is there to make the stop, but he's got the first down, and they'll have it first and goal at the 6. The offense.
You have 18 seconds to try and punch it in.
Looking to throw.
They'll look through the air. He's going to run it himself. No, he won't. Whoa, what a defensive play to break up the touchdown.
The scoring opportunity.
That is just poor decision making.
He could have run it himself. He saw a man open, but great play by Southern Miss to swat it out.
Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half.
It was a tough call to make.
Second down.
They'll try the end zone again.
Good job.
Overthrows.
Negative play and just get rid of that thing.
Well, the defense is making some big plays.
All right, I've got another pod idea. Western pod. The new schools,
Rice,
LSU,
Tulsa, Tulane, and LSU.
and Arkansas.
That would make it 5.
I
Snap on this drive.
mean, you do.
Settle for a field goal.
Gonna throw it this time, end zone, touchdown, Rice.
Just geographically speaking, 5 makes the most sense.
Man, I just love the execution by this offense.
Well, you're gonna be left with an Eastern pot of 3:
You want to get that momentum on your side.
Georgia, Tennessee, Florida.
It's gonna be difficult.
What? Eat that passing game.
I think it's because it's 14.
Momentum and keep putting up numbers.
Would 4 work? Let me think.
4 would be difficult because if you want to have Arkansas on the same thing as Tulsa, or the same, you want to have Arkansas and Rice together, that would mean you'd have to split up Louisiana one way or another. Either have LSU or Tulane in that pod. There's a flag on the play.
I think LSU probably prefer playing
Running at the kicker.
every year. So I mean, you could do a pod, Arkansas, Tulane, but there is the boot. But you can protect the boot.
Yeah, but Arkansas LSU doesn't really care about the boot, from what I know. All right, 6 seconds before the half. They'll just take a knee here, and this will be the end of the first half. Rice holds the lead 7-0, but it's not pretty.
Well, I mean, we can do 2 5-team pods and 1 4-team pod.
I don't know why we... Besides, Danny is the schedule guy. If you got ideas, send them to him.
Yeah, this is definitely just a late-night idea.
If we did divisions, that would move... I believe Alabama-Auburn would move to the East with these new divisions.
Yeah, because look, Nashville's west of Auburn, and it's about on par with Tuscaloosa. So, I mean, I know geographically rivalry with Vanderbilt and Tennessee, but...
Well, I think it'd be 2 teams that move over, because you have 2 new West teams.
Well, Auburn should have been in the East in real life. That's what I was trying to say. Plus, I'd say more of Auburn's rivalries besides Alabama are in the East. Auburn, Vanderbilt, Auburn, Georgia, Auburn, Florida.
They're going to go play action. Heaving it deep. Wide open. Inside the 30-yard line. First down, Southern Miss.
There's a lot of communication when it comes to defenses. Like, we have to talk. We have to understand
How in the world do you get that wide open?
to pass off wide receivers. Apparently, the communication was busted.
And the Golden Eagles headed quickly to the line.
Last time they got this far into the field, it ended in a pick.
And they were driving, too. They looked like they were destined to score.
Gonna air it. Touchdown, Southern Miss.
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that
Walk it like you talk it. And Southern Miss can tie it with a field goal.
these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy. The connection between quarterback and wide receiver, you can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
On to attempt the try.
To tie the game.
And they
That's
did
good.
make the extra point, and we have a tie ball game.
The Conference USA has produced many a national contender. Whether it be UAB making the national championship in 2008, Louisville's multiple runs to the BCS, Houston's BCS runs, Rice doing it back in 2006, Arkansas back in the early 2000s. The 2010s were definitely Houston's era. Cincinnati crept into that conversation every once in a while. 2012, you had USF making the national championship. And of course, last season, you had UCF getting there.
He's going to run the football.
Can Rice add to that legacy tonight?
Back and pass, make him honor the run game. You got to do a lot of this.
After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6.
Oh yeah, SMU 2016, they also made a BCS bowl.
Scanning the field, it's
Oh yeah, 2KU questions real quick.
Scrambling!
Did the death happen in 2KU?
What's up?
Did the death penalty happen in
It did
2KU?
not.
Okay.
It's going to be tough on this defense containing this guy because he's got that sixth sense to get outside the pocket, and at that point, he's throwing it and hurting you, or you can take off and run. That time able to get the first down. Big challenge for the defense moving forward.
quick handoff.
Another handoff here for Rice. They'll get 4 out of it.
Out to the 31.
It's just so nice to know you can start off on first down with positive plays.
In Jacksonville State, 2 years in, they already won a conference championship.
Solid pickup of 4 on first down.
Is this IRL?
6.
IRL, yeah.
2KU, they've been here an extra year, but they almost had a national champion or a conference championship. Big run for first down. Still on his feet. Makes the jump to the 48.
No need to measure it to first.
Did they win the CUSA?
There was no question
Yep.
that's the
All right.
for the quarterback.
Out of Western Kentucky.
He had his receiver in
Like
the matchup,
52 to 12.
running a route where he would find himself open. Nice job between those two.
Hey, Mountain West, you want to add New Mexico State?
In high gear.
Just asking.
Give to the running back.
Another handoff, not much to gain.
Really nice stop there from this senior leader.
Army needs a UNLV miracle to stay alive with a shot of the playoffs.
In the face of Ginty Ball.
GNT ball. Will it also require both Clemson and SMU not coming out on the field tomorrow night for Army to really have a shot at making the playoffs?
Gonna try to pop one on the
Congrats to SMU on their ACC championship, by the way.
run and not a whole lot of help. Short gain there. It's still
But please.
ground to cover.
Do we have anyone in chat? I don't think we've had anyone in chat for a while. I haven't been able to check.
Perfectly for a screen to work for big yardage.
This one's actually being broadcast live. This is the last one we're recording, but the first one we're actually doing live.
Really wanted that one to be a big game.
Frick it, we'll do it live.
Field. It's Warner.
Gonna air it out!
High and deep down the
Oh my goodness, what a pick!
pass is intercepted.
Well, I love the job by the coaching staff there defensively.
Let's take a look at that again.
Putting their dime package out on the field. So you bring out the extra defensive back, you're anticipating a pass. Perfect timing to run that personnel, and you get the pick.
And Southern Miss, they're looking for their first ever CUSA championship.
Ooh.
That's it.
As they get set
An
to
incredible play.
down here in the quarter. Use the play fake now to throw.
Gonna go on play action.
Fires to the big fella. And he'll step across the sidelines after making a good gain on that one. We've reached the end of the third quarter, and we have a potential classic on our hands, all tied up as we take a peek at the stats.
It's tied at 7 entering the fourth quarter. Up next, the Pac-12 championship, Utah and Arizona.
As we open the fourth, all tied up. They go to the ground. And they'll bring him down, but not before he picks up the first down.
This is a guy that can find you the hidden yardage. That play, he just pushes the pile to get that first down.
Now on 1st and 10 from the 26. He's gonna pass.
Has all day to throw it. He'll get rid of it as the blind side comes in on him.
And on that throw, never gave his receiver a chance.
And that was good defense again. And unfortunately, we've been saying that all game long. Really, really good defense. Or, listen, you can spin on the other side. This offense has really been bad.
Here comes the offense on 2nd down.
Quarterback's gonna keep it. He's gonna lose yardage.
Down in the backfield, he'll lose a couple.
Well, they're trying to go option, but the linebacker shows his open field tackling ability and also his recognition. He expected the quarterback to keep it, went after him, was able to make the tackle for loss.
This is the type of play that could be a pivotal moment. Tight game, 3rd and long coming. Looking for a man. It's Rodemaker.
Third down! Incomplete! Almost a sack.
As he released it, and it falls to the turf.
And finally, the defense is able to get some pressure on this quarterback. They had been trying all game long, different ways to affect him, weren't able to get there. But on that play, because of the pressure, it affected his accuracy.
And Southern Miss will have to punt it late in the game, deep in their own territory.
Oh, yeah.
Might have thought he'd want to try to pick
And
up
with
a
2:48 to go, Rice
with making the fair catch
needs the lead.
35-yard line.
Remember, SMU gave UCF last season all they could handle.
They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
Well, the linebacker showing you read and react. He knew exactly where that running play was going, and he beat the football to the line of scrimmage and forced the TFL.
Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. He's looking to throw.
Caught in the middle of the field. He's going to be a yard short of the first.
Drags him down.
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands, get it to your playmaker. A lot of times he'll dance and make even bigger plays than he did here, but it was still a positive game.
The clock stopped.
2-minute warning. Rice needs a score, and they need it now.
Ball is at the 42.
From the 42, first
Territory.
and
It's 3rd and short.
3rd and 1 rather. Gonna air it out. Has a man open. Touchdown, Rice.
Who gives a hoot? The Owls do. It's a touchdown. They move on top here in the 4th.
What a great game, tied late in the ball game. Who's going to make the big play? They come up with it late, take the lead, nice execution. It's
And leave it to a guy named Dickman to stand tall.
tied late in the game. I don't want to mess up with this offense.
I know it's a family-friendly program, but if a Dave Show joke like that pops up, you know I gotta take it. And the shoes shine on top, as the camera completely misses it. Look at this bomb,
Now for the extra point.
and that might have cracked this game wide open.
The extra point is good, and now in the 4th, they're up by a touchdown and an extra
Southern Miss, it's now your move
offense on that
with 1:54 to go.
drive. And they close the deal with a 58-yard touchdown pass. Kickoff team is on the field. They'll try to drive this one deep. Here he comes from inside his own 5.
He brought down at the 13-yard line.
Wrestle him down. Southern Mississippi has it back, and the Golden Eagle offense headed to the field. That last drive fizzled out, Jesse. They had to punt it.
First down, throwing to the sideline. Good catch. It's gonna be 2nd and 3.
The mental mistakes.
And just trying to solve the defensive riddle, understanding what they're trying to do to you and attack them.
Set up for 2nd and short after that completion. Looking to throw, it's Rodemaker.
On 2nd and 3 over the middle. Southern Miss calls their first time out.
Before he's dragged to the ground. Quick timeout called by the offense.
It'll be 1st and 10 from about the 30.
Every minute possible.
It's a 29 officially.
10 from the 29. He wants to throw.
Surveying. The time's gonna run out,
Hit hard.
but he gets the ball off incomplete.
Down and just couldn't get it to the receiver.
Yeah, it felt incomplete because he did a great job of getting to the quarterback. He's in the pocket, yeah, he's comfortable, but you get in there and you get a hit on him. Now he feels it, can't throw the football, can't follow through with his arm motion. Nice job by the defense.
Dialing up a 2nd down pass play.
2nd and 10.
Finds his
Oh, he's
man.
got a lane to the 45.
He gets it to the 45-yard line, and that'll be a 1st down. That was a nice pickup, running the drag route and finding that quiet, soft spot in the zone.
Yeah, drag routes not only work against man coverage, they work against zone too. If you can find the soft spot and the quarterback gets it to him early, he can turn upfield, and you saw that right there.
Trying to find his man on 1st down.
Whoa, what a hit.
It's Mims.
It's a gain of 3 though,
Coverage by that defense.
but the clock is ticking for Southern Miss.
This defense is going to make it hard on him, right? They've got the lead, it's late, and they're going to try to tackle everybody in.
The Golden Eagles still have 2 timeouts.
For this and be smart. You got to attack the sidelines. You got to throw 1st downs. You got to keep this thing moving vertically down the field.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. The sure hand
And that gets to midfield. The clock's still running. You have 2 timeouts.
the matchups they want out of the slot.
Yeah, dude, getting that guy matched up on a linebacker.
I think they want to leave as little time on the clock for Rice as possible.
Putting him in the slot,
But the problem is you don't have a lot of time for yourself. There's only 26 seconds.
Here we go.
Over the middle, it's caught. There you take your second timeout. 19 seconds to go. Can the Golden Eagles come in clutch? Incomplete.
Well, I know it hasn't been a tremendous day statistically for the quarterback, but his decision-making has been good enough to win.
It's coming down to the wire.
So far, but when things aren't open, he throws it away like on that play right
As it has in Birmingham time and time again.
And that's why they still have a shot to walk out of here with a W.
On second down, he'll try to make the
Gonna throw it. Not gonna be enough for the first. They'll have to call their final timeout.
called. 11 seconds remaining to play. They're looking at a third down and
By
short.
far our longest game of the night.
This might be the last chance.
They'll try to get the first through the air.
They're gonna air it deep. Touchdown! Southern Miss!
Caught for a touchdown, and it looks as if we could be headed to overtime.
Do we have overtime for the second straight year?
Put a drive, putting points together, getting 6 now.
He can miss the kick. It's still possible.
Time. Do you want to go for the win right now, go for the 2-point conversion, or kick this thing and go into overtime with seconds running down on the clock?
And overtime might be in the cards for Birmingham, Alabama. The Conference USA Championship for the second straight year.
The extra point can tie
They're gonna
it up
try an
at
ice.
halftime.
The point after.
With 5 seconds
Watch
remaining
this
to
work.
play. If they knock through the extra point, we'll be all tied just before the
Point after coming up. Kick is on the way.
That extra point was good.
And it's good.
Deadlock here in the fourth.
This game is tied.
On the decision to ice, I mean, you can't take it with you, so why not?
You'll likely only have one more play.
All tied up in the fourth quarter. He'll start the return inside his 5. He was hoping
They'll have
for
2
something
seconds.
more dynamic, but they get him
Are they gonna just run it here?
They'll snap it from the 20 for the opening play of this drive. Handoff
And they will. For the first time on this weekend, we have overtime.
and time has expired here.
Here we go.
Even at 14. Here are the overtime rules in 2K. Here are the overtime rules IRL.
All right, guys, so here we go in overtime.
2K stream games still follow the old overtime rules.
Alternating possession starting on the opponent's 25.
And it's so nice to be on defense.
So there is a discrepancy in that.
To understand what you need. Try to hold them to a field goal. The offense knows they can do their job to go out and get a win. Just 2 possessions, Palmer. Like, you got to be at your best.
Yeah, and I love the new rules too because in the third
Rice
overtime possession,
will
it goes to alternating
win the
two
toss, I
points.
believe. They
Fourth,
get the
who's
ball.
got anything left in the tank
Or Rice
to
gets the
go
ball
get?
first.
They've got it first and
I believe
10
Southern Miss
from
won the
25.
toss then.
Use the play
They're gonna go play action. He's gonna be sacked.
Time running out, and he goes down.
Dang.
34.
The defense just simply not fooled by the play action. Oftentimes in offense, you're hoping the run fake is going to slow down those pass rushers, but man, oh man, they had their ears pinned back.
Big first down sack for the defense.
All the pressure in the world on Rice here.
The play action fake,
They'll run the play again.
and he really
And he
needed to
dropped
hold
it.
on to that one, but it was not loose, and third down is coming.
Looked like the offense had a chance for a big play there, but the running back.
And you can't stall out. Not here with everything on the line.
This is a third.
This is your season on this drive.
Looking to throw, it's Warner. Got away from trouble. and
Gonna
got
throw it incomplete.
Another incompletion on third.
4th and 19.
Nice job by the defense. They're mixing up their look. They're third and long in field goal range. They go zone coverage, so everybody on the back end has the eye on the quarterback, and they're able to break on the ball, forced the incompletion.
And they're going to try a 51-yard field goal. The kick is on the way, and it's good. And now you have to rely on your defense.
How nice is it as a head coach to have a kicker like this? It makes these decisions on fourth down so much easier. Just strut him out there and let him stroke it through the uprights.
Motion trying to get the defense to show his hand.
On the first play,
Starts to collapse. Caught in the
Screen.
backfield, it's Clark.
gets about a yard.
Just a few on that completion. Offense working from the pistol.
Second and 9, the handoff up the middle.
Move. Able to
Stuffed.
make the stop after a gain of 2 to the 22. Let's see what they have on third down as they want to make sure they keep this in makeable field goal range.
3rd and 7.
Third down, he drops the
He's going to get the first down. He has a block inside the 5.
gets it down to the 4-yard line before he's finally
And you got to be sweating bullets in Houston.
the catch.
Really nice job there of the quarterback. Reading coverage, he knew exactly where to go with the football and at what exact time. The timing could not have been better. They get the completion on third down, setting up 1st and goal.
A touchdown ends the game here in overtime. It's 1st and goal.
Can Southern Miss pull off an upset? The handoff stuffed.
1st and goal. He works his way all the way down to the 3, and the defense is reeling. Now the offense tries to punch it in on 2nd and goal.
To try and walk it off. They hand it off. Good night, Birmingham. The upset is complete.
Game on the line, and they've got to be the more physical side. Great job.
Southern Miss wins their first CUSA championship, upsetting Rice 20-17.
Exactly what I need to go get it done. They take it down the field, run in the end zone, and end the football game.
And this game is over. Up next, we cap the night with the Pac-12 championship as Utah takes on Arizona.
College football.
And for the love of the committee, Utah, please win this game. All right, Pig Bear, up next, we have our next game. Pig Bear. Yo. Do pardon me 1 second. we should be back online. I believe my co-host is passed out currently. We'll be back tomorrow night with the capper, the Pac-12 championship. We'll get that done. Sorry this broadcast ended soon, but that'll do it for us here today. Thank you all so much for watching, and so long from the 2KU.